my dear students, welcome back. Today, I let you familiarize with another branch of biology, the taxonomy. Okay? And first class, you have studied what is taxonomy. So, tell me what is meant by taxonomy? Yeah, taxonomy is the branch of biology which deals with naming and classification of organisms. You have learned it in the 9th standard. Okay, so it deals with grouping of organisms. We are studying and classifying organisms based on their similarities and dissimilarities. So taxonomy deals with nomenclature and classification of organisms. Okay, and in the first attempts, the classifications were based on few features, simple features, not a very great scientific approach. Okay, for example, plants were classified into herbs, shrubs, trees, based on which feature? The stem height. Okay, similarly, animals were classified to animals with red blood or without red blood. Aristotle did that classification. Likewise, earlier classification attempts were based on simple few characteristics. Okay, whereas now the science and technology is advanced and the taxonomy has a lot of advancements. Okay, there is chemotaxonomy based on the differences, similarities and dissimilarities of chemicals present. Then numerical taxonomy, implementing some number system. Okay, like your ones and zeros in computer science, like this dealing with databases also. Okay, then there is again number of branches, cytotaxonomy. Okay, based on some cytological differences or similarities, the attempt of classification. So many factors are taken into account now for the classification. Okay, even the evolutionary relationship, we call it as phylogenetic relationship. Okay, anyway, let us discuss some attempts of classification which you are going to study in +1. Okay, your +1 textbook, biology textbook, begins with taxonomy. The first chapter is diversity in the living world. The second and third chapter all deals with taxonomy. So just have a basic idea about the taxonomy. Okay? See, here regarding the classification system, the most important systems only we discussed today. The first one, two-kingdom classification. It was introduced by Carolus Linnaeus. What is special about him? He is known as the father of taxonomy. So it was in 1758, Carolus Linnaeus classified the entire organisms in the world under two groups. Okay? That two groups were known as kingdom. Now also this is kingdom only, kingdom classification only. Then domain systems are there recently. Okay. Anyway, listen here. In 1758, Carolus Linnaeus classified the organisms into two kingdoms. Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia. Okay. Then see, there are few features we have taken into account. Anyway, we will discuss it in a +1 syllabus in detail. We will discuss the criteria for classification in +1 in detail. Just understand the two kingdom classification classified organisms into Plantae and Animalia. Then the next attempt is by Ernest Haeckel in 1866. He classified organisms under or into three kingdoms. Kingdom Plantae and Animalia as such. The third kingdom he had introduced is what? Protista. Kingdom Protista. That means he had separated all unicellular forms into this group. Understand? He has separated all unicellular forms into another kingdom. Okay? From Plantae and Animalia, all unicellular members were taken out and classified to another kingdom and named it as Protista. Okay? The next attempt, four kingdom classification. It's by Copland in 1956. See, Plantae, Animalia, Protista. Then from this Protista, he had taken all unicellular eukaryotes and prokaryotes separate. I mean, unicellular prokaryotes were taken into another kingdom. It's a bulk group. Okay, all bacteria belong to. Then here, unicellular eukaryotes only left. Okay, very simple concepts only I give. I'm not going to the details of this today. Okay, just have the basic preliminary idea only. See, Copland has introduced the new kingdom, Kingdom Monera, only exclusively for the prokaryotes, unicellular prokaryotes. That means he had separated unicellular prokaryotes from Protista. Now the Protista has only unicellular eukaryotes. Okay, I think it's clear. Here only what is left? Unicellular eukaryotes are left. Okay, so the four kingdom classification by Copland. The next, recently we followed that system, five kingdom classification. It was given by R.H. Whittaker in 1969. Okay, so Robert Whittaker in 1969 put forth or introduced the five kingdom classification, in which he had given a new kingdom, fungi. Okay, that means fungi were already there among Plantae under Thallophyta, that was separated into another kingdom status, because fungi show so many unique features and which are not common to plants. Okay, so he had separated fungi. Earlier fungi were along with the Plantae. Okay, both of them have cell walls. That was a similarity. Okay, they are not photosynthetic like plants. So fungi were separated into another kingdom status by R.H. Whittaker. So which are the five kingdoms here? The newly introduced kingdom is fungi. It is not from Protista or Monera. They have taken this group from Plantae. Okay. So about the five kingdom classification. So 2 kingdom, 3 kingdom, 4 kingdom and 5 kingdom classification. Okay. So let us revise this once again with the help of a presentation. Right? Then try to learn now itself. No need to keep it for another time. Learn from here itself and see the presentation. Okay.
So, dear students, taxonomy is the science of naming and classifying things. Okay, here species are organized to different groups. The different classification systems, the first one, 2 kingdom classification by Linnaeus, divided organisms to Plantae and Animalia. And the 3 kingdom classification by Haeckel included the 3rd kingdom Protista for unicellular organisms, the other 2 as such for plants and for animals. In the 4 kingdom classification by Copland, the new kingdom Monera is done for unicellular prokaryotes, then Protista for unicellular eukaryotes, then Plantae and Animalia as such. Then R.H. Whittaker's system, the Monera Protista as such, whereas from the Plantae, fungi were separated because of heterotrophic nutrition. So the 4 kingdoms. Then the 5th kingdom, Animalia as such, that include animals without cell wall and are multicellular. Recently, there is 6 kingdom classification by Gray and Doolittle. Here, bacteria were split into eubacteria and archaebacteria. Okay.
I think you are okay, and in the slide you have already seen 6 kingdom classification also. Okay, that is the recent approach, and in 6 kingdom classification you have seen which kingdom extra? I will not say it as such because kingdom Monera is split into 2 groups. Is it? The bacteria were grouped under U and Archaea. Okay, kingdom Monera consists of what? Bacteria. The only members under kingdom Monera bacteria. They are grouped under archaebacteria, ancient bacteria and the real, true bacteria. Okay, therefore that is the sixth kingdom classification. You have seen it. Okay, that means Plantae, Animalia, Protista, Fungi, Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. Sixth kingdom classification. Okay. Let's move to the taxonomic hierarchy then. And the small concept. Elaboration on nothing we are doing now. We will elaborate later. Now just have the basic concept. Last day I have discussed this in the preparation of code. I think you remember. Therefore it's easy for you to learn. Okay, and I think you have many of you have submitted the code also. Interesting code. Okay, see here. I think I have given Collie plays cricket on flat drums. Okay, such a code word I have given to memorize. Anyway, see taxonomic hierarchy I have given in the pyramid, inverted pyramid representation here. What it means? The inverted pyramid, the shape means what? Here is having least number of individuals. Okay, here is having least number of individuals. Whereas towards kingdom is having its very broad concept, more number of individuals. Okay, when we say similarity, so this is in terms of number we can say. A species will be having less number of organisms. When it comes to a genus, many species are under a genus. Okay, so it's having again more number. Many genera are placed under one family. So a family means again broad concept. Many families are under one order. So order is again higher level. Then many orders form a class. Okay, so that means when from base to top we go, number of individuals are more. No doubt the shape gives that idea. Each level we can call as a rank. This is a rank. Okay, this is next to rank, like that. Rank we call the term. And the rank is also given a scientific term, taxon. The scientific term for each level is taxon. So species is a taxon, genus is another next higher taxon, family is the next taxon, order, class, division, kingdom, all are taxa. The plural term is taxa. Okay, which are the main taxa given here? How many taxa are given here? There are 7 major taxa in taxonomic hierarchy. One taxon represents a rank, a level in the taxonomic hierarchy. Okay, so from the species to kingdom we move. Number of individuals are more in kingdom. Okay, then another thing, when species to kingdom we move, the similarities among the individuals are least, getting reduced. Species, individuals of one species show maximum similarity. Okay, here the resemblances are more. All human beings are one species, Homo sapiens. All are having some basic similar features. Whereas kingdom Animalia are having number of different animals, no similarity. Okay, when we say kingdom Animalia, animals are having similarity only in one sense. They are all heterotrophic and some basic features only. Whereas maximum similarities we can see in species. Okay, so when we move from species to kingdom, similarities are getting reduced. Number of species are getting, number of individuals are getting increased. Okay, so what's the term for each rank or each level? Taxon. Plural word, taxa. How many taxa are represented here? 7. So by this topics, today I am winding up. Okay, thank you.